Hello Pisces and welcome to your April 2026 monthly horoscope. My name is Justina. Welcome if you are new here. Welcome to my channel. If you are a returning viewer, welcome back and thank you for joining me today. So here today we are going to look at the astrology of April, and I'll tell you how the events of the upcoming month will influence you on a deeper level. I follow Western astrology, tropical zodiac, so welcome. All right, so we start this brand new month with a full moon happening in the sign of Libra, and this is happening at 12 degrees of Libra in your 8th house of transformation, joint and shared resources, intimacy, financial, and emotional as well. So here, have a look if you have any placements in your birth chart. In the cardinal signs at around 12 degrees, give or take 2 to 3 degrees. So that will be, of course, Libra, that will be Aries, Capricorn, and Cancer. So full moons often bring a sense of culmination, a turning point. This is often a time of endings as well. So heightened awareness, stronger intuition. Of course, you are a very intuitive sign anyway, water sign Pisces. But this energy in the 8th house could generally be connected to some developments related to your business partnership, your intimate relationship, some financial entanglements, perhaps anything to do with debts, financial agreements you're involved in, or perhaps shared finances, resources, for instance. But this is also about your commitments, emotional commitments within your relationships, within your partnership. Here with a full moon, issues connected to trust, vulnerability, very often come to the surface. Remember, Libra is connected to balance, harmony. Any imbalance can become very, very prominent and visible around this time overall. Now here on the 9th, we've got Mars moving into Aries. Mars in Aries feels absolutely fantastic. Mars rules Aries, and here this is your 2nd house of your income, of your finance as well, resources, but anything to do with your personal income, personal resources, money that you earn through your own skills and efforts. So here with Mars is the planet connected or associated with energy, with motivation and drive, impulsivity, courage, assertion. So this energy brings a lot of motivation to improve your financial situation, financial security, stability. You might be driven to engage in some new financial ventures, some business-related ventures, for example. Maybe this energy will also push you towards some new financial opportunities. This is also, for some, this could mean increase in your income. If you have your own business, if you sell things, maybe this transit could also bring more customers, increase your sales, increase your revenue. So whatever the scenario, this energy brings a lot of assertive vibe into the area of money and motivation to improve your area of financial safety and security. Watch out when it comes to making any financial agreements, transactions, especially around the 13th of April. This is when Mars and Neptune will conjoin. Of course, Neptune can bring a certain degree of uncertainty, cloudiness as well. So here, especially here, since Neptune is your modern ruler, so this alignment might feel especially strong for you. It's a very inspirational transit that could bring some new ideas connected to money, connected to business, connected to perhaps a new product, services, sort of things. But it can also bring uncertainty around financial decisions. So this isn't a good day for making any big changes or major financial decisions. You need clarity. Don't make any assumptions if things aren't fully clear. All right, at the same time, be realistic. This is a kind of energy that requires you to be realistic, to have full clarity before engaging in some new agreements, financial transactions as well. So now, mid-April brings a shift of energy. This is when Mercury enters Aries. So here, this kind of energy is great for financial planning, financial communications, for example, as well. Generally, wherever Mercury is transiting in our birth chart, whatever area it's transiting, this often indicates that we'll be thinking. Generally, money will be on your mind and you'll be thinking about your financial commitments, responsibilities, your income situation, you're outgoing. So it's a good time for generally reorganizing your financial area of your life, but also for budgeting, financial planning as well, for generally having these important conversations related to your financial situation, to your income. At the same time, on the 16th, on the other hand, we've got the Sun and Chiron conjunction, which could potentially bring a sense of vulnerability. And whenever here, Chiron is an asteroid associated with the wounds, the wounded healer. So very often with Chiron and the Sun conjunction, this could bring up some unhealed emotions, wounds from the past. And especially watch out, because you might be very sensitive, receptive to any generally comments that could perhaps affect your sense of self-worth, or perhaps if you feel like someone is undervaluing you, then it could potentially become a big issue and more even visible during this time. Perhaps this is something that you may have to address. But with the unhealed emotions, memories, feelings coming back from the past, then here this is something that is good to look into and perhaps look at it from a different light perspective. This is an opportunity for healing, for recognizing your true worth and what you deserve. This is also connected to how you value yourself, how you value your services, for example, if you have your own business, for instance. Now, on the 17th, there is a new moon in Aries happening at 28 degrees of Aries. Aries is a cardinal sign. So here we've got lots of energy centered this month around your area of income, finances, earning potential, capabilities, resources. Now, new moons are connected to new beginning. It's a good time for starting something new, taking something off the ground gradually. The moon is dark at the time of the new moon, so it's also not a good time for making any big steps, but perhaps for gradually implementing these new intentions, for setting intentions overall. So this fresh start is connected to your finances, to your resources as well. This could be connected to starting a new income stream, for example. This could also be related to perhaps that need for financial independence, which could essentially make you want to redefine your financial priorities and perhaps implementing the necessary changes moving forward, how you manage your finances, resources overall. But at the same time, around this new moon, we've got a series of conjunctions, very serious energies that involve Mars, Saturn, and Mercury between the 19th and the 20th of April. So here, what this means is that these energies will influence this new moon, but they will be exact between the 19th and the 20th. So this also tells me that whatever financial goals you set for yourself, intentions, you need to be realistic about what is achievable, what's about your expectations as well, because this could mean that around here, the second part of April, you might be making some important financial decisions related to money, related to your long-term financial stability, some financial commitments. So for this reason, it's essential to be realistic, grounded in your decisions without taking shortcuts, planning strategically as well. Now, the 20th brings a shift of energy. This is when the Sun enters Taurus. So we start Taurus season at this point. The Sun moves into your third house of communication, learning, your mindset, your daily interactions, everyday interactions, overall movement as well. So generally, Taurus season is usually a very mentally stimulating, mentally busy period for you. And during this time, yes, communication and decisions are generally something that are prominent during the Sun's transit or any planets transiting the third house. Here, these generally the transits in the third house here, the Sun, stimulate our thinking. This is also a good time for having any important conversations, for learning new skills. This is connected to short courses overall. But at the same time, this is a good time for learning new skills, for reading. Perhaps if you've been looking for time to read, with the Sun transiting your third house, Taurus season is fantastic for reading, and generally engaging in those simple pleasures of life. But at the same time, this is also a good time for connecting with people from your immediate environment, people that you see frequently, but perhaps you'd never have enough time to catch up. So you might find yourself generally catching up. You need that intellectual stimulation during Taurus season. So for this reason, learning and connecting with others, traveling, visiting local places can be quite enjoyable, especially enjoyable. Now that on the 24th, we've got a very important conjunction between Venus and Venus and Uranus. So this is one of the last conjunctions between Uranus and another planet, because Uranus is going to move into Gemini on the 26th, which is 2 days later. But before this happens, it will conjoin with Venus at 29 degrees of Taurus. And this is happening in your area of third house. The third house, so of course, as I've just mentioned or discussed, the third house deals with that mental stimulation, communication, decisions. But here with Venus and Uranus conjunction, so this alignment could bring some unexpected developments here in the sphere of learning, but very often news, ideas. It's a good time for brainstorming. Things usually happen quickly, unexpectedly, suddenly when Uranus is involved. So perhaps you might receive some really good news, or perhaps an important email, letter, a reply you've been waiting for. You might also have some sudden ideas, realizations. So definitely listen to your thoughts, write things down if you think that these ideas could be something that perhaps could be very useful in the near future. But at the same time, it could also be connected to meeting new people or someone else inspiring you, for example. So definitely stay open to new opportunities. Keep an eye for what's happening around you around this time. And on the 26th, a big event of the month, of the year even, this is when Uranus enters Gemini, where it will stay for about 7 years. So a big shift of energy happening in your fourth house. So very often here, the first thing that comes into my mind is a move, change connected to the home. Especially if you feel like things have been stagnant, things have been limiting. Uranus will help you to break free from what's stagnant. And very often with Uranus transiting the fourth house, people relocate, people move. It happened to me when Uranus entered my fourth house. I moved to England. That was 20 years ago. But it did happen during that time. So for you, this could be generally shifts happening on this level. So a change, a relocation, maybe even a few frequent. I remember when I first moved to England, in the first couple of years, I moved so many times. Obviously, as a young person, a student, I wasn't very settled. So there was a lot of change and instability in this home sphere. But for you, this could also be a massive reinvention of the home, renovations, refurbishments, for example, redefining what home truly means to you on a deeper level. You need more emotional independence during this time as well. This could be connected to new family members, kind of joining your family, so kind of welcoming new family members, for example. It's a type of energy that encourages more freedom and free, perhaps, way of thinking, of living as well. But this could also indicate perhaps having technology more at the modern home, the need to have to modernize your home, to have more technology in your home, for example, as well. This could also mean changes in your, perhaps, neighbors, maybe moving in, moving out, for instance. So overall, the changes here that come with Uranus in Gemini in the fourth house are connected here very much to your home dynamics, living arrangements, people perhaps welcoming a new family member, for instance, relocating to a different country, a different area, for example. So thank you so much, Pisces. I wish you a productive month, and until the next time, bye for now.